Hey everyone, how you going? It's Catherine here. I've got a couple of updates for you. So today we were contacted by Tempest. Now, for people who don't know, Tempest did a webcast with us a couple of months ago to let us know what her story was about. So Tempest was in a situation where she wanted to take over the lease of her father's property. And on speaking to the landlord, his attitude was very simple and very straightforward. He had no problem renting to people who were Indigenous. He had no problem renting to people that were on Centrelink. But he did have a problem with people that were on Basics card or Indue card because he'd had prior experience to having his mortgage repayments not being able to be paid on time. So he was just straightforward with her, sorry, you can't do it, you know. So, Tempest had applied for opt-out before, and the card had left her in a situation where they didn't pay her childcare fees, and there was a debt accumulated. No debt collector bought in, right? And Tempest did her best and got that debt paid up by herself and got herself into credit, which takes a lot of doing when Indues put you in a lot of debt. But she did it, right? She remained living with her father, paying bills, buying groceries. But there comes a time where people need their cash portion of the rent paid, and they can't keep subbing people, you know, and in lieu of rent, you know, food and groceries only goes so far. So eventually her father's turned around and said, you need to start paying rent. Well, of course, Indues decided, no, we can't do that. We can't release cash for you to pay the rent because you're not on the lease. Well, she can't be put on the lease because she's on the indue card, and her owner has made that clear. So she's ended up homeless. Because, yeah, it's a situation that's disgusting, but it's not as if we haven't heard it before, right? And, of course, the government keeps denying that these things are happening. Meanwhile, single women with kids are going homeless, and it's getting worse. So today she posts to us that she's been denied her opt-out yet again. But the odd thing is that, you know, this last time she was denied on the grounds that she was at risk of homelessness, and at that time she wasn't at risk of homelessness and she wasn't homeless. This time, that risk assessment is not part of the equation. Instead, it's to do with more declines, of which she cannot get any records from Indue on, because Indue's attitude is, sorry, that's internal documentation only, and you're not allowed to have a statement that shows the so-called declines, right? And now they've slapped her about the debt that she had with the childcare, which they wouldn't let her pay her childcare anyway, which she pulled herself out of the hole of by herself before and got herself in front. So this poor woman has not got a chance, has she? They've got her spinning. And this is how disgusting this card is. More and more families are going homeless, right? More and more landlords are going, no, we don't want indue tenants. Sorry. Even if they're not saying it to the person's face, they're saying it, you know, it's obvious by the amount of people that are on the card that are hitting stone brick walls when applying for rental properties. Like Karen in Bundaberg, she's applied for over 60 properties. You know, so it's ridiculous, and she still can't get anywhere. You know, and other families that are living in tents and cars around the region and across the country. Right, so yeah, I thought I'd bring you that update. It's shocking what they're doing. Of course, they all say it's working. Yes, it's working to impoverish people, to destroy people, and it's not fair and it's not right. And, you know, that legislation was beaten and the government cheated. They cheated. That's the bottom line. This time we had the numbers in the House to block that card, and they cheated. They pulled a flanker and they cheated, and Centre Alliance stabbed everybody in the back. All right, so people are now stuck another 2 years of this cruelty, and all we can do is be the voice to amplify the damage that's happening to the card holders. All right. Only in some cases, like with Tempest, I use the name because Tempest has already done a webcast with us, and that was public, where she told us our story from before. I mean, this is updating Tempest's situation, which has gone from bad to worse. It's going to be interesting to see how she finds alternative housing. And, of course, we will keep in touch with her. She's a long way from me. I'm in Queensland. She's in WA. Okay, so another update today, but I can't disclose the name for privacy reasons. But a little background. We had a lady that was put on this card. She's working. She was put on it against her will. Basically, the card was actually activated by indue staff, and not her, because she was told that in order to get an exemption, she needed to be activated first before she could apply for an exemption. Well, ever since that day, almost 2 years ago, she has been fighting to get off the card, and today she got her second rejection. They are holding $35,000 of this lady's money. She is a working person. Okay, this card does apply to people with jobs, especially parents, because they still get their family tax payments, family tax A and B, their supplements at the end of the year. And the amount of money that's being held is absolutely ridiculous. It is all of her family tax payment for the last 18 months, 2 years. It is all of her family supplements and her end of year tax reconciliations for the last 2 years, right? And it's all of her COVID supplement all stuck in that account. Now, she won't use it. She's living off of her wages and her savings out of principle. She did not want to use it. She did not want to be on the card, right? And she stood by it. So she's having trouble trying to appeal to her last opt-out rejection, because the excuse given to reject her was because she was refusing to use that money. She was neglecting her children, which is a load of rubbish. Her children are not missing out on anything. She's working, right? She's barely got any time to scratch herself. She's providing for her children adequately, and there's no proof of that allegation from the first rejection. You know what I mean? And the thing that's making her really irate is the fact that her children are missing out on the luxuries of having access to that income, which is should be rightfully hers, right? Because income from her work should be able to afford them to have more than just the basics. Do you know what I mean? Her kids are getting everything they need. They're not missing out, but they should be able to have more than what they can have, because with that amount of money tied up in the card, it's just beyond ridiculous. So today, she sent me a message, and she's now trying to appeal a second knockback on her opt-out. But they seem to have lost the paperwork. It's really weird, because she's trying to get through to an appeal to the AAT, right? And she, sorry, what is that? Alicardamus. Oh, Ben. Hello, Ben. Ben, goodbye. People have got jobs on this card, mate. You're not in the card area. You live in Maryborough. Goodbye. Go away. Sorry. There's a troll on the page. His name's Ben. Okay, he lives in Maryborough. And his name is Alicardamus Vladinon. Okay. Yeah. Bye-bye, Ben. Right. So, plenty of people have jobs on this card, right? How is she struggling, he says. I'm not going to pay attention to you, because I am going to finish this, because this is very important information, right? She's trying to put through an appeal to the AAT, right? And, yeah, I don't live very far from you, Ben. Bye. You know, and so anyway, the problem is that all of a sudden, Indue claim that they have lost her paperwork, right? And, yeah, she thinks, this is wrong, Oh my God, he's going to troll. He's being a fool. Ben, do you realise what you're doing right now? I can actually call the police on you. So be careful, mate, because I might just ring Maryborough Police. Get off my page, Ben. Right? I may not know exactly where you live, but I'm going to Maryborough Police Station right now. Get off my page, Ben. Right? Who wants to go with me to Maryborough Police Station, guys? Shall we go? Right? This is crazy. You know, trolling me and threatening me and saying that you know where I live. Well, you don't know where I live, Ben. Right? Oh, I'm happy to go to the police station, Ben. Happy to. Right? You don't come here and harass 12,000 people. Go away. So, this lady's story is very, very important. $35,000 is a lot of money, right? And for her not to be able to do her AAT appeal, because all of a sudden, indue claims they don't know where they put her paperwork. You know what I mean? And, okay. Yeah, I think I better get the police involved because he's just he's now threatened me that he's implied that he knows where I live and my safety is at risk. So I think we will go to the police station. Sorry, I'm going to have to do this later. All right, I'm going to Maryborough Police Station and, yeah, okay. I'm not putting up with this. I know Ben. I know what he did to another person in Hervey Bay. He better be careful. All right, I'm off to the police station, guys. I'll see you after.